It was a bit mixed up, wasn't it, at the beginning?
I didn't say it wasn't.
Right, thank you. Finally we got there.
Yeah. Hello YouTube.
Hi.
We're back again. If this is the first time that you've been here, I'm Ian, this is Jane.
Hi.
And we've been reviewing Edinburgh Festival Fringe this year, as we've done in previous years. There's a load of reviews that we've already done and they're all linked down below, so you can take your pick with that really. And now we're back in Yorkshire, we've been looking at the online content, and we've just seen an online play which is on demand, so you can watch it anytime, and that's Police Cops. This is a play from 2014. They have other plays which we'll talk about later. Do you want to just read the play out, Jen?
Yeah. So, 1976, rookie police cop Jimmy Johnson is out to avenge his brother's death. Teamed up with a disgraced renegade named Harrison, the pair begin to unearth the secrets that the case holds. Police Cops is a cinematic joyride speeding down Adventure Avenue in a souped-up squad car. Critically acclaimed, they bring you their multi-award winning comedy blockbuster, an action-packed hour of adrenaline-fueled physical comedy, cinematic style and uncompromising facial hair.
Now this was filmed, I don't know when it was filmed, but obviously the original production was 2014. So this is filmed in front of a live audience, and actually at certain, I think there's a two camera angle. You do actually see the outline of people's heads on a few of the shots. The first probably 5-10 minutes there was sound issues.
It might have been us just getting it right. But,
I had to mess around with the sound quite a bit to make it, and it seemed to settle down after that. And there were moments when you couldn't quite hear the dialogue. So it's not, from a production value, it's not filmed as a full production. It's just filmed in a theatre. So be aware of that. And I mean, I think it helps that you've got an audience there laughing.
Oh yeah, no, it's great.
But I mean, certainly after the first 10 minutes, it sort of settled down and you settled into it.
It did.
I mean, these guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
Like I said, we'd seen their second show, which was Police Cops in Space. That was 2018.
Yeah.
It's very physical. It's almost like a ballet at times, isn't
I'm
it?
just going to say the choreography of some of the pieces is, I think that's a good description, because it's not, it's almost balletic, and sometimes it's just two of them. It's three guys. Sometimes it's just two of them. Sometimes it involves all three of them. And the fact is, they must rehearse it a lot.
And some.
To get it as it is.
Yeah.
Because they depict running, walking. I mean, I know that sounds a bit boring, but when you see
Honestly,
them
when
walking,
you see it do it,
it's fantastic. doing all sorts, but they, you know, it's fights, it's and then sometimes they'll enact. It becomes then a sort of tableau.
Yeah, they've got dream sequences going on. The interesting thing is, I don't know whether you've actually noticed it. All of their props and all of their costume changes are on stage in little cardboard boxes set around the stage. Yeah. So they do go off stage occasionally, but generally everything sort of happens on stage. And there was certainly a couple of bits where things went wrong, like trying to get into like a shroud, and he took him for ages. And you know, they're laughing, the audience are laughing, we're laughing, and it's that sort of, you know. And you know, there was one point where one of the guys corpsed, and you could tell that he was trying not to laugh, and that makes it funnier. You know,
it does.
And I remember from the 2018 show, there is that sort of slight improvisational element to it. Yes, it's set. There's a story to tell, but actually, you know, if something goes wrong, then they go with it.
It doesn't matter.
No.
And it just, I mean, it's wacky.
Yeah.
I mean, we were absolutely blown away by them when we saw them the first time.
Yeah.
And and I mean, it's piece, and I don't think it gives anything away, but at one point they use, I mean, all it is an apron.
Oh yes, yeah.
And it gets used as a noose.
Yeah.
But then immediately following that, it becomes a cape, because he then becomes a bit of a superhero. And the other actor just sort of flickers it, so he's standing, and it becomes a cape.
Very clever.
Just brilliant. Just touches like that. The visual impact is fantastic.
Because it's a Mexican bad guy, and there's a bit with the hat, the Mexican hat.
Oh yes.
And actually, it's such a simple idea. I think he's got it on top of something else because he takes it off at one point. But every time he moves, the hat goes round. It's just, and it was just such a simple idea, but it's such a comic piece of genius, stuff like that. Yeah, really, it was really, it was great. Actually.
I mean, it is. Yeah, the narrative is very is sort of a movable feast. Well, it is and it isn't. Yeah. But it's you stick with it because the images and just the energy is fantastic.
It's superb.
You know, it's great fun.
And it's a pity that we're not back in Edinburgh because I remember we were trying. I don't know what show they did in 2019, but we couldn't get to see it because it was completely sold out for the whole of the time that we were there. And they do sell out. Yeah. The current show that they've got up there, they came up on the 16th, which was obviously the day we came back, or the day after we came back. And actually, they did perform it in Leeds on the 13th of August. So they do tour outside of Edinburgh. So the thing is to keep an eye out for it when they're touring near you, really, because you've got to see these guys. They're a really good night out.
Some of the most creative, inventive actors that I've seen, and it's just great fun.
So we'll tell you when it's on until the end of the month online via the Fringe app. I think we said the tickets were £12, was it?
Yes, I think we did.
Their current live show is, it's Badass Be Thy Name. It's on until the end of the month. Let me just find out.
Yeah, so I haven't got that.
Let me just bring it up, and so that you can, if you are in Edinburgh or you're going to go to Edinburgh, we can.
Yeah, and it is £12 for the online police cops.
Yeah.
So you just So and it's on demand, as Ian said.
And I have got. There we are. So it's on. It's called Police Cops: Badass Be Thy Name. We know it's about vampires, and it's on until the 29th. It finishes on the 29th. On the Fringe website, as we speak now, there are tickets. It's every day at 6:45.
Oh yeah, so it's actually.
But it started on the 16th. It's just that they've crossed them out because...
Oh, right,
yeah.
okay.
So, and the tickets for that cost... I can get through to it. Slow iPad.
Yeah, I think you've got to pick a date, yeah.
£13, £12 concession. So if you're in Edinburgh, it's a really, I mean, just on previous performances, on what we've just seen and what we saw in 2018, I'm pretty sure that Badass Be Thy Name will be of the same ilk and it's just as good a show.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely.
So we'd highly recommend that. How many stars for Police Cops?
Give it a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4 too. The only reason it's a 4 is probably because of the sound issues we had at the beginning. Otherwise, I think it would have been a 5-star. You know, that's not their fault. That's just the way it was obviously filmed whenever it was filmed.
Yeah.
But so if you do have issues with it at the beginning, stick with it because things do settle down. These guys are brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So thanks so much for watching. You know what to do. We'll see you next time. Cheers now. Bye bye.